Where Tatyana Heard goes, a mug of Yorkshire tea is sure to follow. Born in Italy via Maryland, USA, Heard swapped those Yorkshire roots to plant herself firmly in the hills of Gloucestershire. A fine place for a red rose to bloom.
For a Yorkshire girl, how at home are you in Hartpury?
Yeah, really at home. I mean, obviously I've been here since I was 16, but also, you know, the countryside is just right here on your doorstep. So it's just kind of home away from home for me.
It does feel like, just especially where Gloucester-Hartpury are at the moment, that this community is created within this club, and you've kind of been a massive part of that. Why is it all coming together so well now?
Well, I think the thing is we've had a pretty similar team for like the past 3-4 years, and not a lot has changed. We've had this great culture the whole time. We've had like this great environment to be in, and everybody's loved it. That's why we kind of retained so many players. But the thing is now we got front football, like we had a few extra signings, but also like things just seem to be clicking in training. So like we're getting front football, which means we're getting our backs on the ball more, and like you're getting to see what people like Ellie Rugman can do a lot more often. People can just kind of show off their game, and I think then it kind of just attracts more people, and more people are seeing us as a squad and thinking, oh my gosh, Gloucester-Hartpury are this incredible team, like where's it come from? But actually not a lot has changed. We've still kind of got the same environment, the same culture, but there's just like, you know, a few more people added to it.
It's been a long journey for you to get though to this place where you're starting regularly for England, Gloucester-Hartpury, you're at the top of the table. If you were to pinpoint parts of your journey, what were the key bits that have made you who you are today in terms of the player you are? I
think definitely coming here to Hartpury has had a massive impact on me. Like I think you build like resilience, and you learn to push yourself, and when it's good to ease off and when it's good to push on. And I think even like someone like Zoe Ilcroft, like she just can never quit. That's like instilled in her and instilled in so many of the girls that came here and that have come up through the pathway, because like that's just what you learn when you're at that age, and it's so crucial. Like it's such an important age to learn those values, and then you just can't get rid of them really.
I feel like we could say the same about you. Just never quit.
Yeah, well I guess, yeah, exactly. When you're here you just can't, because that's just kind of the values that you learn, and like being here and like even like getting injured, you learn to just push on through your rehab. You learn that like you've got to put in the work to get what you want to get. So, and I guess you get in what you put out, or get out what you put in. You get out what you put in, and I think that was a really valuable lesson for me, like all through my rugby career really, but I think that kind of started here.
Is there a piece of advice that you still kind of keep with you to this day?
Not necessarily one particular piece of advice, but I think actually yes there is. So we would never be allowed to go anywhere or like come to training or anything without a water bottle, and like you'd be in big trouble if you didn't have your water bottle, which obviously now I understand is so crucial. Like you need to be hydrated because it does really affect performance, but at the time people would forget it, and we'd be like, oh no, like we've forgotten, like maybe we should just try and share, but you weren't allowed to share because obviously you needed your own. And I think now obviously got it. But you just always have to have your water with you.
You know what it reminds me of? When you turned up for PE and you didn't have your jumper with your name written in it. Yeah. If I said 3.5 years, what would that number resonate as in your mind?
Seems like a long old time, doesn't it? I guess, well, so that's obviously how long I had between my fourth cap and my fifth. Obviously seems like a really long time. Like if I look forward now, three and a half years away, like a lot will happen in that time. When I'd got my first 4 caps, I didn't know that much. Like I wasn't that intelligent as a rugby player, and I learned so much in that time, like between those 2 caps, that I was like, okay, I'm like quietly confident that I at least know what I'm doing, like whether it goes my way or not. Like I've learned so much since before, and I've done it before. But yeah, like obviously was really, really nervous. But then before the game, I just told myself, like, there's no point in getting stressed now. Like, this is the one moment you've been like hoping for and like looking forward to this whole time, so you may as well just have fun.
When you came off the pitch, what was your family's reaction?
For them, it was a really, really proud moment.
Are they still up north?
Yeah, they are, but they do travel down for the games.
I was going to say, are they getting used to you becoming somewhat of a southerner?
They do tell me that I sound posh quite often, which I don't really know how to feel about that. When I come down here then, everybody tells me I sound really northern, so I just can't work it out.
The middle ground.
Yeah.
Keep drinking that Yorkshire tea.
Yeah.
No one will ever call you anything else.
Exactly.
You went on then to be a mainstay in the Red Roses side, like multiple starts, World Cups. I mean, do you feel settled? And especially as I think you're from the outside looking in, I've met you a bit more now, but quite a introverted and quieter player. How have you found a home on the big stage?
And a lot of introverts would say the same, is that as soon as you're on the pitch, it's kind of different. You don't really have that oh, I don't want to socialise, I don't want to be this or that. I'm very different when I'm on the pitch. Everything kind of comes out anyway. It's kind of, I wouldn't say easy, but it just feels normal slotting into a team when you've been playing for so long. And then obviously now then that I've been in and around camp for a bit longer, I just feel really comfortable around the girls. That just kind of helps, doesn't it? If you're comfortable around your teammates, it just makes things feel a lot easier. So for me, although I am an introvert, that's kind of an off-pitch thing. And then on the field, I feel like it's not something I would really think about.
Comfortable to scream at everyone to get that defensive line sorted. How do you feel about John Mitchell? Because it's a massive change. It's a massive change for everyone, whether you're in camp, whether you're on the outside. We've been so used to Simon Middleton and that group. Personally, I'm really not very good with change. So for me, it was really interesting when the coaches obviously announced that they were leaving. I was like, oh my gosh, because there's so many unknowns. Is the new coach going to like me? Who is the new coach going to be? And then now obviously we found out it's John Mitchell. I think it is really promising that the RFU are getting somebody of his calibre in, and also that he has wanted to come and work with us. So I think it's really, really exciting. The unknown is you don't know if what the new coach's preference are going to be. So obviously new backs coach, new head coach. For the backs, it's all very unknown at the moment. So I guess, yeah, we just kind of got to wait and see what they like, what they want to see, and then I guess work towards that. And then the other big thing on the horizon, a potential final, you've got to say potential, but Gloucester are flying high to close out the season, and potentially you're in the playoffs for the first time already, but lift a trophy? Could you imagine that? I mean, there's been a lot of times where we've been on the back of some really close losses. So to be winning some games now is really, really exciting. And obviously for those of us that have been here for quite a few years, to finally be getting those wins is amazing, and we're just loving the journey. So yeah, obviously really, really exciting that we're into the playoffs, and it's something that I guess some teams might take for granted if they've already been doing that regularly. So I think for us that's our next big game that's going to be really fun. Sounds very what you told me at the start, one day at a time. Yeah. In the red shirt, playoffs are a cert, and in the white, well, a World Cup in 2025 at home, and that red rose emblazoned on her chest. It's safe to say that our Yorkshire lass has found herself quite a home in the West Country.